Hey guys, this is Haley from OneOnRabbits.com, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to litter train a rabbit. So rabbits are not like cats. They do not naturally go to the bathroom where they're able to dig. Therefore, litter training with rabbits is actually a little bit more complicated than it is with cats, but it's definitely something that can be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into all the tips on how to litter train your rabbit. So number one is spay or neuter your rabbit. Rabbits who are not spayed or neutered are extremely territorial. Because of this, they mark their area with pee and poop to make sure that other rabbits know that that area is theirs, even if other rabbits aren't even around. Even though you can start the litter training process before your rabbit is spayed or neutered, like if they're still too young, just remember that some rabbits just won't be able to be litter trained until the spaying and neutering has been done, which spaying and neutering should be done for many health reasons, along with behavioral reasons like litter training. Also remember that it takes about a month for hormones to die down after a spay or neuter, so it still might take a little bit of time after the procedure for your rabbit to pick up on litter training. So the second most important thing is to use a proper litter box. Rabbits should have very large litter boxes. The litter box should be able to fit all of the rabbits who live together in that space, so if you have two rabbits, it should be able to fit at least two rabbits. Your rabbit should be able to hop in easily, turn around, move easily. It also should have high enough edges so that your rabbit doesn't pee over the edge, as rabbits are very well known for shooting their pee quite high. Don't use those small corner litter boxes that are sold for rabbits at pet stores. Those are simply way too small. Like, I don't even think Sterling's butt would fit in there, and it's not a proper litter box for rabbits, and a lot of the times a rabbit won't use it because it does not meet the needs they need. It's best to use a large or extra large size cat litter box for this reason. However, I personally prefer the clear large storage totes that they sell at like Walmart or Target, because personally I think they're way cheaper than large or extra large cat litter boxes that you find at like pet stores. They really rack up those prices to like $40 or more when honestly you can buy like a $15 tote at Walmart and it works perfectly well, and it's normally way bigger than the cat litter boxes at pet stores. So that's personally what I use. Another thing is to make sure you're using proper litter. Rabbits should never use clay litter, clumping litter, anything scented, pine or cedar shavings, as all of these litters can have health complications or health risks associated with them. I personally recommend using wood stove pellets without accelerants added, or horse stall pellets. They're basically just pelleted pine litter, and it is perfectly safe for rabbits to use it. It's great with smell, it's great for absorption, so there's no like yucky liquid left on the bottom of the litter pan. However, some rabbits may not like the hard pellets underneath their feet, and in this case, I would recommend adding a small layer of hay on top of the litter, or better yet, use a thin layer of Carefresh on top of the pine pellets. This is personally what I do for my bunnies, especially since my rabbits are a little bit older and can have issues with sore hocks. Adding that layer of Carefresh really helps. I also think it helps absorb a lot better, so that's personally what I use. The next tip is to put the litter box underneath a hay rack or put hay inside of the litter box. Rabbits go to the bathroom while they're eating. That's just something they do. So if you're providing the majority of the hay above the litter box, they have to be inside the litter box to be able to eat it. Therefore, they're gonna end up pooping and peeing where they are. This is especially important when your rabbit is first learning to be litter trained. I would recommend only providing hay in the litter box or above the litter box during this time. As your rabbit has become more litter trained, you can try providing hay outside of the litter box. But just remember that some rabbits just will never be able to have hay outside of the litter box, as it will cause accidents. I've had rabbits who are perfectly fine having hay outside the litter box, and then other rabbits who tend to pee if I offer it outside the litter box. So it's completely up to the individual rabbit. The next tip is to put the litter box in a corner. So if your rabbit is in a room, put it in the corner of a room, or if they're in a pen, put it in the corner of the pen. This is because rabbits prefer to go to the bathroom in corners. Many times, if a litter box is not provided to a rabbit, they will pick a specific corner to pee in or poop in, and this is just something that comes naturally to them. So placing the litter box in the corner is a good way to help the litter training process. If your rabbit has already chosen a specific corner or a specific place they like to use the bathroom, try placing a litter box in that area, and if they have multiple areas, you may have to provide a couple of litter boxes during this time. Once they're more litter trained, you can start removing extra litter boxes, but for the meantime, they may need a couple more. The next tip is to offer more litter boxes, like I was just mentioning. Especially in the beginning, you want to provide more litter boxes than just one so that you're reminding your rabbit to use the litter box. Over time, you can start removing the litter boxes one by one, but only do so once their litter training has progressed. If you have more than one rabbit sharing a living space, you must provide at least one litter box per rabbit. This is because some rabbits can be quite territorial over the litter box, and sometimes they might not let the other rabbit inside while they're using it. Because of this, it's a good idea to have more than one litter box, and maybe even more than the amount of rabbits you have. If you're having issues with territorial guarding with litter boxes, try placing litter boxes in separate sides of the room. So if you normally have a litter box in this corner, try putting one in the opposite corner so that the rabbit who is being chased out has another option on the other side of the room. Again, this isn't super common, but I have had rabbits in the past be territorial over litter boxes, especially when the bond is really new. So I thought I would mention it for any of you guys struggling with territorial issues with litter boxes. So just remember, some rabbits may need more litter boxes while other rabbits need less. It is all up to the individual rabbit, so don't stress if you have 3 litter boxes for 2 bunnies. Like, it's totally fine. Every rabbit has different needs, and that's fine. Another tip is to keep the area small when you're starting out with litter training. So if they are currently free roam in an entire room, maybe try splitting the room in half with a pen while they're trying to get the hang of litter training. You can of course still let them out for playtime and all of that stuff, but keeping the area small is easier for your rabbit to remember to use the litter box because the litter box is closer by. So when they have the urge to go to the bathroom, it's closer for them to hop into than if they were in a whole room or in several rooms. Once your rabbit is litter trained, they can have as much room as they want, but just remember that some rabbits are lazier than others and won't want to run to another side of the house to use the bathroom. In this case, you may have to put a litter box in each room that your rabbit is allowed in, while other rabbits may only need the one litter box. It completely depends on your specific rabbits and what your rabbit needs. The next tip is to remove absorbent material while your rabbit is litter training. Rabbits naturally will try to pee on things where it's absorbent so that it's not like running all over themselves after they pee. So because of this, they're naturally gonna choose things like blankets or carpet, something that's not like hard floor and gonna get all over them. So for this reason, it's best to remove absorbent materials while your rabbit's litter training so that they know the absorbent place they should go is in the litter box where the litter is very absorbent. So it's best to just use hard floor while you're litter training. It's just for a short period of time. And then once your rabbit is more litter trained, you can slowly add in blankets or other soft materials like that. Just remember there may be some accidents when you start doing this. That's completely normal. Just make sure you remove the item that has pee on it and wash it immediately and then place it back in. If your rabbit is really uncomfortable on hard flooring, you can use other stuff like ceramic tiles from the hardware store. If you flip them upside down, they have traction on them, so that might be a good option for you to use as flooring while your rabbit's litter training if they struggle with hard floor. You also want to make sure that you are keeping up with cleaning your litter box. If your rabbit's litter box is too dirty or too smelly, your rabbit will not want to use it. Therefore, they most likely will start peeing and pooping outside of the litter box. For this reason, I do recommend cleaning your litter box at least once a week. Some people find that their rabbits like it cleaned more often. It totally does depend on your rabbit. I personally clean my litter boxes about once a week, but I spot clean them fairly often. I just take out a lot of the wet litter and the hay and then kind of mix it all up. Sometimes I add a little bit of fresh litter on top. I do this because it makes the litter box last longer, therefore you aren't throwing away as much good litter that is still left. You also want to make sure that when you are deep cleaning your litter box about once a week, that you are spraying it down with vinegar and water mixture. This can help clean up any rabbit pee that is on the litter box, as if you leave rabbit pee on plastic for too long, it does become really hard to clean off. And if this happens, it does trap a lot of smells and stuff inside the plastic. And if your litter box is holding on to all of those pee smells, it's gonna make your room smell worse. but also rabbits have very sensitive respiratory systems and they're more prone to be able to smell things like this. So you really want to make sure your litter box stays nice and clean. If you keep up with cleaning, your litter box should look brand new. I've had some litter boxes for 8 years now and they still don't have any stains on them because I clean them very well. So now that we've gone over all the tips, now let's talk a little bit about what you can expect once you start litter training. So the first thing is to expect accidents to happen. It can take days, weeks, or months to litter train your rabbit, so don't be upset if your rabbit is still having accidents outside of the litter box. Some things to do if your rabbit's having accidents outside the litter box is to place all the poops that are outside the litter box into the litter pan so that they know that's where the poops belong. If they pee outside the litter box, use a very small piece of paper towel and soak it up in the urine and put that urine-soaked paper towel into the litter box. That way they will smell it and know that's where they're supposed to pee. Rabbits love to pee in the same area over and over again, which is why if you are using something absorbent and they pee on it and it still smells like pee, they will continue to pee in that area. So if you put the pee-soaked paper towel in the litter box, that will remind them. Once you've done that, make sure you spray the area down with vinegar and water and wipe it up so that there's no smell of urine outside of the litter box. Another tip is the messier your rabbit's area is, the more likely they're gonna have an accident. So if your hay is getting thrown outside the litter box, like it likely will if you have destructive rabbits, the rabbit is gonna start peeing and pooping outside of the litter box if there's hay all over the floor. So make sure, especially while you're litter training, to keep the area very, very clean so that your rabbit knows exactly where it should go. So one issue that can be really common with bonded rabbits is a rabbit peeing directly outside of the litter box. This is a very common thing that rabbits do. I still don't fully understand exactly why they do it, but a few theories that are out there is that your rabbit is either stressed or not able to get in the litter box. So some things to consider is one, that your litter box is tall enough and your rabbit isn't actually just scooting its butt back into the corner and peeing over the edge, because that is a very common thing, especially with litter boxes that are too short for your rabbit. The second thing is to make sure your rabbit can easily jump in and out of the litter box. If they're young and healthy, they definitely should be able to hop over, 6 inches or so. But if they are older, you may have to use a shorter edged litter box if they're not able to get in and out. The third thing is to make sure that no rabbits are guarding the rabbit from getting inside the litter box. This is the most common cause I've found, is that one of my rabbits is actually keeping the other rabbit from using the litter box. If this is the case, again, like I mentioned earlier, place litter boxes on separate ends of the room. This way, your rabbit's litter boxes are separated far enough that they can both use them at the same time without that resource guarding. If you place both litter boxes right next to each other, it's really easy for that territorial rabbit to jump back and forth in between the boxes and keep the rabbit out of both litter boxes. That's why it's a smart idea to have them separated on other sides of the room. Another tip is to never punish your rabbit for having an accident. Another thing is to never lift your rabbit up and place them in the litter box, especially if they've just had an accident or something. The reason why is because all of these things are seen very negatively in rabbits. Even if you think your rabbit doesn't care being picked up, your rabbit still has instincts, and instincts tell them that whenever they're lifted off the ground, it's a prey reaction where they're like, oh my goodness, I'm being attacked or something. Even if they're calm during it, all of that stuff, they still have those inner instincts that will set off that anxiety alarm. So never make your rabbit be in the litter box, never force them into there. That will cause very negative associations with the litter box, and your rabbit will most likely avoid it. One thing you can do to make the litter box a more positive experience is whenever you see your rabbit willingly hop into the litter box, you can offer them a treat so that they associate the litter box with treats, and that associates it with good things. Another thing I want to stress is that some rabbits will never be 100% perfectly litter trained. They may have random accidents from time to time for various different reasons, but then you're also going to have those rabbits who are 100% litter trained 100% of the time. It's definitely based a lot on personality, and some rabbits are just more litter trained than others. However, I will say that most rabbits can be litter trained enough that they're using the litter pan at least 95% of the time, but not all rabbits will reach that 100%. If you are finding poop directly outside the litter box or within the first 1 or 2 feet of the litter box, remember that most likely that's not necessarily an accident. It's more of either the poop is getting stuck to your rabbit's foot when they hop out and it's being flung, or your rabbit is digging in its litter box and the poop is flying out. Or sometimes rabbits just don't know that they're not quite finished yet when they hop out and one little poop kind of falls out, or vice versa, when they're hopping in, it kind of, they start pooping before they should. So just know that is very, very common, and it's just really easy to sweep up and put back into the litter pan. Also remember that it is very common for your rabbit to pee and poop like crazy when they're in new territories. Whether this be a new room in your house that you've never had your rabbit in, or you've recently moved to a new place, this is very, very common. I would say for my rabbits, I've moved quite a bit with them, and it takes about a month for the territorial peeing and pooping to die down. It definitely depends on the rabbit. Some rabbits aren't fazed by this. Other rabbits are very territorial and like to mark their territory a lot. So just remember, during this time, you may have to add more litter boxes, but also remember this is normal rabbit behavior, and it's not something that should be punished, as it's a very instinctual behavior. Also remember that if you have unbonded rabbits in the same home, if they share any of the same playtime area, the same toys, the same anything, those things are most likely going to be marked. Whether that be by chinning or by peeing or by pooping, this is very, very common behavior. I have unbonded rabbits in the same home currently, and anytime they are in the playtime area, I always find a couple of poops. Personally, my rabbits aren't marking with pee in that area, thankfully, but they do mark it with poop because it is a shared playtime area with another bunny that they're not bonded to. So that's basically it for this litter training video. I hope it wasn't too long, but I wanted to give you guys all the tips that I had. If you guys have any additional tips that you want to give to people, leave them down in the comments below. Or if you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe for more rabbit and rabbit care videos. Also, if you guys are looking for really cool rabbit toys, don't forget I have an online shop, 101rabbits.com, where you can buy fun chew toys and stuff like that for your bunnies. That's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys very soon on a new one. Bye. Shadow, that's not your food. I know, buddy. I will feed you in a bit. Personally, they're way cheaper than large or exercise, so that your rabbit knows exactly where to use the restroom.